Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Theoretically, I'm now live on YouTube. At the time that I'm saying I'm live on YouTube, I have the ability to go live on YouTube, although not everybody does. At some point in the future, maybe YouTube will open up the ability to broadcast live to any producer. Although so many live streams that I happen to watch are boring. And so I do my best to be informative and entertaining at the same time, even when I can't see that YouTube is broadcasting what it is that I'm wanting to share with everybody. So that one looks okay. That one looks okay. What doesn't look okay is the YouTube live broadcast page. Let me show you what you're likely seeing right now. This live event will begin in a few moments. So, don't be too antsy to join the YouTube Live program because it's still just a skosh buggy. There's a word that you should try to use every day, skosh. It's a word that is not frequently used. So, while I wait for I'm sorry, my dog, Wicket, barking in the background. He was complaining that not everybody could see the live feed. I understand that people aren't able to see the live feed. They may have that 5-minute time-shifting bug happening right now. Let me go ahead and hit refresh a couple of times and see. Yeah, this is the same issue that I had before in waiting for 5 minutes into the live stream before it actually broadcasts. Of course, if you're watching the recording, this banter makes absolutely zero sense. But the interesting thing is, even if you watch the recording of the live broadcast, this will all be new to everybody. Nobody will have seen this, including the people that had tuned in to the live broadcast. And with any luck, let me see if I can rejigger a couple of things here. And I'm guessing, though, at the 5-minute mark, at the time of the recording, how much do you want to bet? At 5 minutes, everybody will be able to see the stream. For some reason or another, YouTube's web servers, depending on which one you hit, have some kind of bug with them, and no telling what it's going to take to fix that bug. So let me go ahead and take this moment, and hopefully this will make sense to everybody, to remind you that we've been making a lot of changes with our channel, not really changes that should be jarring to you at all. We've been broadcasting or trying to broadcast live on YouTube every weekday with YouTube's permission, of course. But it's not without its set of bugs. So you can watch the entire TLDR episode, the full hour or so long broadcast, if you care to. You can even subscribe to this particular entire long broadcast in iTunes, the podcast, although it's really, really big, in terms of file size. And so just be warned. Hopefully you have a good broadband connection. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to handle the daily TLDR other than watching it on YouTube. And you can take each one of these episodes and watch them on the weekend. You could watch different segments from within each recorded TLDR. And you can watch them in succession. So there are a variety of ways that you can consume the content that we are now producing every single weekday. And I don't think we are showing any signs of slowing down. And see, this is going to be the interesting experiment. We're right around the 4-minute mark. And it's my guess that right at 5 minutes, this will be broadcast or start broadcasting to everybody. And it's just something that I guess we have to put up with is a series of bugs. And being a geek, I see a lot of software, hardware, services that needs a lot of help, and I always report the problems that I experience with one thing or another. Actually, I got an email from a Kickstarter project CTO. I funded the project and wasn't very happy about it. He wasn't very happy with what he saw me saying online. He thought that I had a vendetta against the company or someone at the company. And I said, no, it's just the product missed expectations. That's all. Make a better product. I don't know what other kind of feedback I could possibly give you. Of course, the bugs related to YouTube are something completely separate. So I'm seeing, just so you know, it's 5 minutes in, and I'm not seeing an update yet, but I know I'm streaming live, and I can prove it. So here's what I see when I'm logged in. See, I see myself there. I'm streaming. This is streaming live on YouTube. That's because I'm logged in, so I can see it. You can't. I don't know why. I can hit refresh. I'm not logged in. Now, of course, you can. Oh, and it's telling me that an upgrade to Flash Player is available. I don't think those two things are related, but I was right. About the 5-minute mark. Anybody who's watching the video live, go back and watch the recorded version, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. YouTube's got this 5-minute bug that happens sometimes during a live broadcast, but we see right now, or I see, that we are live with the comments. Fire Thar says, I waited all day to come on. Yay, says Steve K. 1993. The Geek Panel says, finally, it's working. Working now, says Morose 100. Light Switch Larry says, working? JKN Productions 1212 says, finally working. Hi, Chris. Oh, Pure Ghost. Chris, did you leave your secret cam at your door? Actually, I did leave the secret camera at the door. I have not turned it on. And this is in relation to the yesterday's episode. If you didn't stay tuned for the whole hour-long or so broadcast, there's someone who's been ding-dong ditching right around the 4:30 mark around my home. And so I've set up a security cam that will capture any kind of motion that would happen. So they're thinking they're not going to get caught. So I've got the camera in the window. Let me go ahead. Thank you for reminding me to set this up. Otherwise, he may have done it in the middle of a live broadcast, and we wouldn't have had a fun little side video, unexpected video to record. So I'm not going to show you much about this particular webcam that I'm using right now, if only because I want a reason to do it in a video, and I thought what better way to demonstrate the power of a security camera than to catch a ding-dong ditcher, which admittedly I used to do when I was a kid. That's something I did. I'm waiting for the settings on the phone app to load. It's talk about buggy. Oh yeah, it just crashed. It's definitely not something that I would care to share with everybody because it is buggy. Things that are buggy, I really don't like talking about, and it's been that way pretty much since the beginning of time. Very rarely do you hear me talk about something that I don't like. Very rarely. It does happen. But it has to be an extreme case. Let me go ahead and try this again. Turn on the motion alarms. It seems to be working fine now, theoretically. Save. And now, if the ding-dong ditcher does come, or whatever happens, I may even get alerts. If a car drives by, I'll get a notification. Then what will happen is that we'll record a separate video. Thank you again for the reminder in this live TLDR broadcast, which we're doing every single weekday. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the shares, the +1s, the tweets, the retweets. Believe me, I see it all, and you have no idea what it means to us when we write an article on LockerGnome.com and you read it. I know, TLDR, too long didn't read, but when you read it and you comment, it means so much to us. When you share it, when you blog about it, it means even more to us. And so I just want to keep encouraging that behavior. I'm really appreciative of that. Other people who work within the LockerGnome organization are also appreciative of that. And speaking of sharing and resharing, let me go ahead and tell Twitter that we are live. And I'm going to go ahead and +1 this video because I can. And you can too, by the way. Just hit the little share button, +1. And if you're not able to comment on the stream, or if you're not able to like the video or share the video on Facebook and beyond very easily, it may be that you need to look at the video page, not just my channel page where the live video may be playing, not just an embed of the live video, but the actual video page. And you know where the video page is because you can look directly on my latest tweet. If you follow me on Twitter at all, or you could also look on I don't know, Facebook may or may not be posting. It's been buggy for me today for some reason. I think I'm the only one. I can't post on the Facebook. Although let's see if it worked when I did the like from, when I did the like from the YouTube page, it was working just fine. Boy, I'm just surrounded by bugs today. What is it about bugginess? Sorry it's taken 10 minutes to just talk about all this stuff and ramping up. Really not going live immediately kind of knocks the wind out of you. But that's okay because I have live discussion juice with me. Perillo, you are sexy and you know that, says Karpatsky. Thanks, I think. I'd rather not talk about, you know, my physical appearance, really, if only because I don't believe I'm very sexy. In fact, I said earlier, you can just call me Honey Badger if you want. I'm thinking about getting my name legally changed to that. Don't know what everybody feels, or how they feel about that change. Because last week I was thinking I was going to rename myself to See Pity, and that no one seemed to like that one. So the runner-up was Honey Badger. I don't know. Maybe you like that. Maybe you don't. But thank you for liking this video. Thank you for liking every video that we do. Let's go ahead and dive in. And by the way, we're going to have plenty of space for questions today. And I realize I seem kind of low-key, less energetic than I normally am. And I don't know if that's going to change. Depending on you, really, and how the audience feels today, that's how I'm going to feel. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to record the first video here, and I'll try to get myself re-energized and ready to go. I know, I sound so excited, don't I? If I'm not excited, how can you be excited? So many people were poo-pooing the iPad before they even saw it. And so many people poo-poo the iPad and they've never used it. And how can you trust somebody's opinion about a product or a service if they've never actually used it? They've only heard about it, or, well, I've seen pictures and it's just the same as using it. No, it's not. I try to use everything if I plan on talking about it, or if I do talk about it, I'm careful to throw in the caveat that I may have never used it, but some people ask me for my opinion. I'd be careful about taking opinions from people about things that they've never really used before. So there's a controversy that's swelling around tablets. I don't know if you've heard about this, but every tablet that's on the market compares itself to the iPad. And I don't know if that's really fair, well, not just to the iPad, but to every product that's comparing itself to the iPad. I mean, once you start comparing your product or service to somebody else's, you failed, whether you realize it or not. So we've written an article just today on 4 reasons you don't really need an iPad. And I don't know if you knew this. I mean, if you were to ask me, Chris, do you need an iPad? I say you need one. Absolutely, but not really. You could use one, though. So what are reasons you might not need an iPad? And I'm sure you're going to say, oh, because Android's better. That's fine. I'm sure that's a logical reason, not really addressing the true nature of what we've wanted to talk about. Just because it's the newest gadget on the market, one of the hottest selling gadgets this year, the iPad 2 specifically, and the iPad 1 was, of course, a hot seller as well, doesn't mean that you have to have it. It really doesn't. Brian JCR says HP TouchPad is a pretty good product. Have you done a play test on it? I have not. I've only played with it, for a few minutes, and it was nice. I don't know if it's really going anywhere. Depends on what HP decides to do with the HP TouchPad at some point in the future. I don't understand tablets. What's the point, really? Too small to be a computer, too big to be a mobile phone, etc., says Oh Pure Ghost. You're wrong there. The iPad is a computer. Even something like the Kindle Fire or the Samsung Galaxy Tab, those are computers. You look up the definition of computer, it's the same thing, input, output. I mean, you can do that. It's got a screen, it's got a keyboard, you can do things with it. It's hardware, software, you compute. I had a conversation with my dad a few weeks ago, and I may have brought this up in an earlier video, and he was saying that he uses his iPad pretty much as his computer. Not for everything, of course. Sometimes he needs to do work in spreadsheets, and he prefers to use Microsoft Excel on the Windows desktop, and he's fine with that at this point in time. But the idea that you need something like an iPad is not really something that people talk about. It's like, you need the latest gadget. No, you don't. You really genuinely don't. Do I love the iPad? I do. Do I use it every day? No, I don't. And why would you not want an iPad? Because your mobile phone does everything you want it to do. Fine. Because your mobile computer, and I guess I have said the phone is a computer, but okay, your notebook computer, to clarify that, is doing fine. It's very lightweight. The battery lasts all day. You wouldn't need an iPad. Now, if you're still carrying around a notebook computer, a laptop, and the battery lasts a couple hours, unless you really care to walk around only nearby outlets or near outlets, wherever there happen to be sources of electrical power, as opposed to puppy power, really? I don't know what other kind of power there might be. But until we reach the time where we don't have to worry about recharging the battery, and using it heavily throughout the day, you really need to start thinking about devices that are going to last throughout the day, or certainly, attaching batteries or swapping batteries. But then that can be kind of a kludge. Honestly, swapping batteries is that's so 1989. It's genuinely, it's a kludge. Not to say that we wouldn't use additional batteries, but in terms of needing the iPad when you have a computer that is already working fine, to the earlier point, or the point that was made just a couple of minutes ago, and unfortunately I can't remember the user was watching live and made the comment live. If you have things that are working just fine, you don't need something new. It's not that the iPad could completely replace a desktop computer or a notebook computer, but it is a computer in and of itself, and there are things that it can do, the iPad, that other computers can't do, and vice versa. I mean, it depends on what you want and what you need, what's practical. If your phone does 99% of what you need done when you're on the go, the iPad is probably not for you. If your notebook computer does everything you need it to do, you don't need the iPad. But if you're in the market for something new, you want a nice touch experience, a fantastic array of software, and, really I would say, probably one of the best touch-based gaming platforms on the planet today, the iPad may be for you. Whether it's the first iPad, the second iPad, the third, the fourth, the fifth, however many iPads they make. Just because it's an option doesn't mean you have to throw it into your regular array of devices. So, we've got a few other reasons why you don't really need an iPad, and I'm sure we've got, let's see here. Sirian75 says, no, it's an additional device. You can't overclock a tablet, so it won't replace the PC, says Monroe111. You know what? Like a fraction of the market, like a small sliver of a market actually cares about overclocking. 99% of the galaxy is just like Honey Badger, just don't care. I used my Droid until I needed a new phone. The charger port broke inside the phone, so I had to get a new phone, so I bought an iPhone, says Greg Furrows. Hopefully that move was okay for you. Is he selling iPads, says BreakC. No, actually, as I mentioned in a video yesterday, Apple kicked me out of their affiliate program, so I make zero money. I don't care whether or not Apple succeeds with the iPad. They don't care about me. They don't pay me anything. So this is completely unbiased opinion. The article that was written is also unbiased. After regular usage, we're telling you why you don't need an iPad, not to get one. I personally believe iOS is too small an operating system for something like the iPad. That's wrong. Insulin Addict AD, that is incorrect. Too small is, number one, relative. Number two, it works just fine. If they would have put the desktop on there, it would have become the tablet PC. I hate to be the one to break this to you, but tablet PCs were a colossal failure. There's a reason why Windows in tablet PCs didn't make it. Usability. Microsoft doesn't think that way, or they hadn't up until the point where they realized their colossal mistakes, of course, long after unleashing the tablet PC onto the marketplace, which was a huge, gigantic mistake, because they tried to cram a desktop paradigm into a mobile experience. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you vehemently. So let's go ahead and roll into the next video, which is kind of a corollary to the one that we just did. Everybody's talking about a tablet. One kind of tablet or another. Doesn't matter who makes the tablet. It's just tablet, 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 tablet. Why? Well, tablets are nice because we now are thinking of tablets as computers that you can interact with by way of touch, whether it's with your fingers or with a stylus, which using a stylus on a tablet kind of seems outdated anymore. If you can't use your finger, what's the use? Is it really touchscreen if you can't use your finger? I mean, I guess technically speaking it is, but it's certainly not as much fun as having a touch screen that really responds well to your fingers' swipes and taps and motions. So I'm doing this as if the screen is really there. No, here, I need to swipe you. There, I'm trying to make you smaller. Now I'm making you bigger. I tried. We've written an article on LockerGnome.com, and believe it or not, this is a true headline, ripped right there from the website. 6 reasons why I am sticking with a new Windows-powered laptop. Wow! You mean you're not going to upgrade to a new Android tablet? You mean you're not getting an HP touchpad? You're ignoring the iPad? Why? Well, there's a lot of choices in the marketplace. In Windows, as far as this particular writer is concerned, on LockerGnome.com, again, the article that I'm referring to, is doing everything and then some that this user needs. So Ron, that's the person who penned this particular article, lists a handful of very cogent reasons why Windows does everything he needs to do, and why that trumps any other kind of experience that might be out there. Maybe touch is not something that's interesting to you. Fine. Maybe you find the Android marketplace an absolute catastrophe. Fine. Maybe you don't like the way Apple does something. Fine. The point is, Ron's saying that Windows is still kind of sexy. And I gotta tell you, I will be a lot more interested in Windows in a mobile environment when Windows 8 ships because of the optimizations that they're making in line with mobility and Windows. Kind of there with Windows 7, and there's a lot of software available for Windows, for Mac OS X, for Android, for iOS. So it's not necessarily just about software, right? It's about the experience that you might crave. Maybe you want something with a keyboard attached. Well, then you'd want to get a product that had a keyboard attached because that means something to you. Doesn't mean that only great products have keyboards attached because, as we've talked about several times, and I'm probably going to have to beat this into everybody's skull, better is relative. What's best for you is not necessarily best for everybody. I mean, there are certain subjective opinions that we all might have, but you look at the overarching marketplace, and there's a lot of choices out there. Just because everybody is wanting to get a tablet, and that's the hot thing on their Christmas list, whether it's an iPad 2 this year or an Amazon Kindle Fire, laptop computers aren't going to disappear anytime soon. And Windows is pretty much the go-to operating system for a lot of those experiences that people are going to pick up. And another thing, and I think this is probably to further the point in the article, reasons why you want to go with a Windows-powered laptop today. They're cheap. They're insanely cheap. My brother, apparently one of his kids had an accident. They spilled some drink onto their existing laptop, which was kind of falling apart anyway. And I told him, I said, just go out and buy a new one. They're like a couple $100. And you can get a really decent laptop for less money than one of these newfangled tablet experiences. And you can do potentially a fair bit more on that Windows-powered laptop than you can on, let's say, a tablet computer. That may be the same amount of money or more. Laptops are cheap. As MXC double, let me try your username again. MXC0427 says, I'm actually excited for a Windows 8 tablet. I am too. I admit it. Metro, from at least a touch experience, should be fantastic. The optimizations that they're making throughout the operating system will hopefully be good. Steve Miskey says, I think you take too much time covering your ass from people flaming you. It doesn't matter what I do. People are going to flame me anyway. So I'm just sharing my opinion. You're free to agree or disagree with what I have to say. You're free to agree or disagree with what the writer has to say. I'm not going to back down from what I believe in. I'm just going to tell you like it is. And here's what it's like. You can get anything you want, but what you want may not be what somebody else wants. That was kind of a rude statement because I've made my decisions and I've shared my decisions. I love how I can get accused of being a fanboy for one platform on one hand, and on the other hand, being accused of being too general. So it's less about the things I do and more about your projection of the things that I'm actually doing. I Buy Refurb says, AKA Shahart. Yeah, that's a good option. Remember, we recorded a video and did an article about why that's a good option for you. I think it was a couple weeks ago, as a matter of fact. Refurbs they're good. Hang on. I need a refresher. That's grape juice, by the way. Really good grape juice. I've had an idea for a few weeks now, and I've been meaning to scratch it out, on some paper and draw out prototypes. Potentially, I can't actually make a prototype because I can't do things like that as easily as I can say, hey, if it did this and that and this and that, it would be nice. So with this idea, I'm hoping to possibly throw it out there in a possibly on Kickstarter to see if I can get the idea funded and made. And it's something that I think could take off. I've thought about using Quirky, although anytime I've used Quirky, I didn't have a very good experience. I found Quirky to be kind of a waste of time. Kickstarter, I've funded projects before. I've talked about Kickstarter projects before. If I can find the right partner, someone who can engineer a prototype and has had that experience with product design and development. See, that's the thing. Got to have experience. Can't just say, oh, I'll do it. I mean, I can pick anybody to say, oh, I'll do it. I need someone with experience because I think it's a good idea. And instead of going to a major manufacturer and pitching them the idea, they could deny me and I can move on. I may file a patent for it. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like it in the marketplace, something that I know I've needed and I know that you would need too if you knew what it was that I was talking about. But it's not ready yet. Obviously, I can't just talk about it without actually showing you something. What would be the point of doing that? We've been looking and really watching that landscape for quite a while. And if you have an idea, maybe it's more fully baked, maybe you have a working prototype you'd like to share with everybody, you should consider crowdfunding. And we've written an article on LockerGnome.com, crowdfunding being the future of technology. This isn't just for gadgets and gizmos, really. To take it bigger, there are people who are funding their media projects by way of Kickstarter and similar websites and services. You don't have to wait for somebody else to give you the green light. You can share what you want to share and see if anybody's going to back you. That is extremely powerful. To know that you think you've got the best idea in the world, when you are ready to share it, consider, instead of going after VC funding, which you may or may not get, instead of going after angel funding, which you may or may not get, it's just as easy to set up a web page and use it to possibly fund your project. TCPNet just commented here in the live YouTube thread. Chris, there's also Indiegogo. It's similar to Kickstarter, but lots more people, projects, and accepts PayPal. Oh, Indiegogo. I learn something new every day. Thank you. I'll look into that because, as I said, I do believe my idea is solid. I need to flesh out a few more details, but I think it could actually work if I found the right partners to help make it happen. And I'm not talking big partners. I mean, I do think I want to crowdfund my idea. I think it would be a total blast to create something like that and to be a part of something like that. This is the future. For creation. We don't have to wait for companies to make things for us. We can make them ourselves. Doesn't mean that every one of these projects that you fund is going to rock. In fact, I funded a project that sucked, and I've talked about it sucking, not on YouTube, but elsewhere, and I got an email last night from the CTO of the company saying, do you have a vendetta against this company? No. It's just the product did not meet my expectations. What do you think I'm upset? I funded it. I gave you money to make something that was going to work like I saw it work in your prototype. So, bottom line, some of these things work when you fund them or work well enough, and some don't. But I still think it's worth a roll of the dice when you see something that has promise, and to be a part of something that could potentially be the next pet rock, the next big thing. That's not my idea, by the way. That's already been done. Not that I would invent like the pet USB drive. That's probably already... Oh, yeah, they have the USB humping dog. It's already been done. The pet scissors? I actually got a paper cut today, and here's the weird thing. I have not touched a single piece of paper. I don't know where the hell it came from. I just looked down and I'm bleeding. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. And it's a paper cut. Or something like that. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. Maybe I cut myself on my facial hair. Yeah, I know. I need to shave. And by the way, my invention has nothing to do with shaving. Or could it? So, check out the article and take a deeper look. Because if you are in the world of technology and you want to get something off the ground, we've got a few really fantastic starting points for you. And it explainers as to why doing it this way is really part of your future, whether you realize it or not. Why brands are using... Should you patent the idea before posting it to Kickstarter? That's what I said, Browser Nerd. I'm thinking about patenting it before I do that. Just in case. Thank you for the thumbs up. We only have one moron who's disliking. It says there's more than one, but ignore it. It's actually just one person. They sign up for multiple accounts. So the only way to counteract the dislikes, guys, is to like the video. That's all you can do, really. It's just one poor, sad, pathetic loser who has nothing better to do with his time than to think that he's annoying us. But actually, here's the funny thing, guys. The amount of dislikes we get is actually kind of a good thing, and here's why. We never had more likes in a live TLDR episode than yesterday. Because of the fact that you are counterbalancing against the dislikes. No, it's really funny. So thank you. The more dislikes we get, it seems the more likes we get. So, okay. Sounds good to me. No arguments here. I love the likes. Thank you. And the only way, by the way, we're going to get more likes, the only way, is if A, you like the video. Every video that we do, not just this one. If you like every video, thank you. And if you tell other people about it. You can't just like it and then, oh, I'm done. Tell other people. Tweet it. Share it on Facebook. Embed it on your blog. +1 it on Google+. Get it out there. Link back to our articles on LockerGnome.com. That's all you got to do, really. I mean, so if you're going to like it, take that next step. You know, that's really... I mean, I'm predicting pretty soon during a live TLDR broadcast. We hit 300 likes yesterday. Thank you. I'm predicting that within 6 months' time, we'll be averaging 500 likes for a live TLDR episode. I'd like to get that for every particular video that we do. I can only do that with your help, though. But that's just an FYI. Just an FYI, just to keep it real for everybody. The QR code will take you to our email newsletter page where you can subscribe if you haven't already. We're doing giveaways every month. I've decided this. I don't know what the heck we're going to give away next month. I'll find something around here to give away. Maybe one of those extra Lego sets that I have. No, you can't touch my Lego. Those are mine. You do not come between a man and his Lego. And yes, that to me is a measure of a man. If there are two types of guys in this world, guys who like Lego and guys who need to grow up. I'll take the next step in our relationship, Chris, if you pay me, says Wise Catch. Do I not pay you in terms of entertainment value and free content? How many? Wait, hang on. 4,078 videos. So over 4,000 videos I've done, and they haven't cost you a dime. I think I've got 2 videos on YouTube that currently cost money, and people love when they buy them too. The house tour still drives revenue. It's funny. I'm not just going to put it out there for free. I mean, this is my house. This is like my private life. Why would I just expose that to everybody? It's kind of weird. All right, so let's move along here in the laundry list of things that we want to cover today. And by the way, be brewing questions. If you have questions, feel free to throw them in. And our line producer, Chris, who's been doing a fantastic job, will pick up on them, hopefully. if you see some scroll through, because we get a lot of comments. I think yesterday we averaged 3,300 comments for the live TLDR broadcast. Yes, they count. Every comment you make counts. Even if it's the same thing over and over again, it still counts. We've talked about Pinterest before, written a few articles on LockerGnome.com, and a new article has been written specifically in relation to Pinterest and brands. Pinterest, if you don't want to look any further, is a website or a service. There's also a mobile application that allows you to share and reshare images. Now, the legality of this is still in question, but it seems that a lot of people love Pinterest. If you're asking me, I'm not a fan, if only because I find it rather a pain to get around on the website and in the mobile experience. They may update that over time. You know, it's in perpetual beta, but some people love it. And there are brands that are starting to use Pinterest to further the things that they're doing. And it makes sense because some of the items that get shared the most on my Facebook profile, on Twitter, on Google+, seem to have some kind of image associated with them. One of the reasons why I share the articles in conjunction with the videos, and when we do these videos in conjunction with the articles, is to give viewers or readers a chance to experience this discussion kind of in 2 dimensions. I guess you could say 3 dimensions if you're counting them as part of the process. Them, the written article, as well as the discussion points around the article, or at least the topic at hand. Brands are, to me, wise to adopt these emerging platforms. You never really know where they're going to go. Spend a little bit of time on Platform X, and it may explode at some point, and it may go nowhere. At least you can try. And Pinterest, I gotta tell you, is extremely popular with women who love making things, whether it's food, crafts, or whatnot. And so the brands that would be wise to adopt Pinterest, because this is where all this demographic happens to be today and be paying attention to, they'd be wise to adopt it because that's where they are. They can get more attention to them if they post images related to their brand and get people to repin things and reshare things. I'm not really pinning a lot. Largely because I'm sharing images elsewhere. At some point, maybe I'll pin. I guess I can't stop you from pinning one of the images that I've created. But see, that's where, to me, there's a bit of fuzziness in Pinterest. They're essentially encouraging stealing. Like if I post an image, and if I've licensed that image, you have to adhere to that license. And if you reshare that, it can happen. Imagine a photographer, for argument's sake. Let's take me out of the equation. A photographer who may sell his or her image for thousands of dollars suddenly finds that image being shared for free. They're out money. That's stealing. I mean, there's no 2 ways around it. That's what it is. And Pinterest is essentially encouraging this. So for brands to adopt it, they're at least addressing the idea of sharing images, specifically in this way, as a good thing. But I'm pretty sure Pinterest is going to be facing some legal battles at some point, and it may happen sooner rather than later because it is gaining popularity. So, if you know of brands who are using Pinterest or brands that you'd like to see using, let me ask this, and this is likely going to change, a year from now. How many in my audience watching this video, if you're at any point in time, if you're watching this video, are you using Pinterest? And if you are, what images are you pinning or sharing? Because that's pretty much all you can do is just sharing images and linking off to different websites that the images happen to sit on. Let me know. I'd be curious to know. I want to know my audience. Do I need to be doing more on Pinterest? I just finally figured out Instagram. Took me a while. And I've got like 5,000 or so people following me there. Why do I need to post to Pinterest again? So consider it. I'm kicking it around, but really, if my community isn't there, I don't know if I really want to be there. As a brand, if your community is there, you'd be wise to follow. The Gamer Terminator just said, this is fucking boring. Watch me block someone. Because, see, that's the funny thing. They're watching it and they're bored. That's not my problem. How is this my problem again? It isn't. Okay, blocked. Funny, isn't it? It's weird when people complain, yet they're the ones paying attention to it. Like, being bored is not my problem. It's your problem. All right, so let's go ahead and how to convert any microphone to USB. Hang on just a second. Give me 1 minute. I gotta change something here. So this is the value of doing things live, is that you have to you never know what's going to happen, and you have to do 3 things at one time. So I'm talent, I'm producing like here on the spot, and I'm also directing the things that are happening. It's kind of weird. All right, too many Lego pictures on Instagram. I say not enough. I wouldn't use Instagram if there were no Lego pictures. Sorry, I really wouldn't. There's more to life than gadgets. See, you got to say to yourself, is this thing that I'm holding on to today going to be just as much fun to use a year from now? And if the answer is no, you shouldn't fall in love with it. Just saying. Because, inevitably it'll break your heart, or you'll replace it with a new one. With Lego, there's just no replacing. You just get more. We, at times, need to record audio. Like right now, I'm broadcasting audio through the live video feed on YouTube. I'm using, and I always have to look at the model number. This is a lavalier mic connected to the camcorder. An Audio-Technica omnidirectional ATR 3350. It's a mono mic, not a stereo mic. I mean, when I'm just talking and it's me, I don't really need stereo. You don't need to hear me in stereo. Trust me, I'm better in mono. I'm pretty monotonous anyway. But on the desktop for the live video feed, when I have the mic on, or at least sending audio through it, that's an Audio-Technica, an AT2020. Go.tagjag.com/AT2020. I also have recommended, as far as a USB mic is concerned, the Yeti from Blue. That is at go.tagjag.com/Yeti. But you may have a microphone that isn't a USB microphone, and you need it to be a USB microphone. Did you realize that you do not need to go and buy a new USB microphone if you had a microphone that isn't USB? It's possible. We have outlined for you in the article, the blog post that we've linked in the description for this video, how you can turn pretty much any microphone into a USB microphone. And I know this is something you want to know about, because this is probably the most common question I get asked on a daily basis. Chris, what mic do you recommend? Chris, I need a USB mic. I only have this mic. And there are different types of connectors for microphones, but inevitably USB is, it's universal serial bus, but it might as well be called ubiquitous serial bus because it's everywhere. Well, I guess universal is pretty much the same thing. But being able to take existing hardware and converting it into, something different really doesn't take all that much. You don't need to really bend over backwards to take what you have today and convert it to something that you can start using immediately. If you have a microphone that you love, and everybody has their favorites, honestly. What I happen to like, is not just, this USB mic here because of the sound quality that comes out of it, but because it blends with everything that's on my desk. Black or gray or silver. If I had something that was, white, it would just popping out. That's the only thing you'd be able to see, like this QR code that I've got and it's not going away. So you can convert any microphone to USB, and it is really simple to do. We've outlined a set of instructions for you in the article, but more importantly, I want to kind of open this up to a bigger question. Do you prefer USB microphones over microphones that, let's say, connect over XLR? Or a mini jack, quarter-inch jack? Which microphones do you prefer? And then even brand. Or we can take it up a notch. What is your favorite USB microphone. It may be the same thing as mine. I've been very, very happy with the AT2020. As I said, go.tagjag.com/AT2020 for a more feature-complete desktop USB microphone. Blues Yeti, that is at go.tagjag.com/Yeti, makes me just as happy. And everybody's got a different choice. I think that, let's see here, I don't know, that says the Hoey Show. I don't know what to tell you. I can help make up your mind for you, but that really wouldn't accomplish much. It's really completely up to you what you like. USB won't work if you want to mic multiple people or if you're using headsets to monitor yourself due to the lag. Rick Brett, you're absolutely right, but there are cases where USB works just fine. This microphone, not USB. The microphone that goes over the live video feed at live.perlo.com is USB, and it works just fine. Just depends on what you need. But here's the thing, again, you already have, if I already had this and I needed to connect it by way of USB, I could. Just saying. The option's out there. You don't have to get a completely new USB-compatible mic. You can convert any microphone to USB. And it's easier to do. It's easier than you think. If you want to convert audio and have Windows, well, you can I use Audacity sometimes for conversions, although it's not perfect. It's open source, doesn't really cost anything if it's open source. Top Gun 101 Tom says, Chris, I will admit I'm watching the show and don't really understand a lot of it, but I'm learning. I never use a microphone. Well, I'm glad you're learning. That means more to me than anything. If you don't know a lot about this stuff, if I am not communicating clearly, then I've lost something. It's not just talking about the things that everybody knows about. It's about teaching people who may not know. And so I'm very appreciative of every person who's watching that it feels like they're behind the curve or they don't know as much as I might know or other people in the community. Don't feel bad about saying you don't know something. And by the way, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know about. I even asked this morning how to change the graphic that sits above the YouTube videos. Right now, if you look on our individual video page, I think I'm kind of pointing at it now. Let me look. There's my face, and now it's got a blue arrow pointing to the subscribe button. I couldn't figure out where to change that. I had to ask. I don't know everything. It's the way it goes. Oh, we're almost at 300 likes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the support that you guys are giving me. Keep those likes moving forward. You can do it. The only way to like the live video, by the way, is to go to the individual video page and actually like it there. Because for some reason, YouTube has not put in the thumbs up button. Although right now, this is kind of weird. Okay, I'm going to have to show you this because I'm not going to do a separate video on it. But as I'm zoomed in to look at the comments, there is, and I know that I've got the brightness turned a bit low there. There is a snowflake button. And if I tap the snowflake button, what will happen on this page is, or I guess specifically in the video, snowflakes will fall. So you can watch me right now. I'm frozen there. Obviously, I'm not pressing play on that and I'd be streaming. But you can watch snow around me right now if you didn't already realize it. Today, that option may not be there when you're watching this YouTube video a year from now. Or maybe it will be because a year from now, the snowflakes may be back. Kind of fun. Chris, do you miss Call for Help? I guess let me answer that question. As we were broadcasting TLDR live here on YouTube, as we do every weekday, I had a question pop in, and I don't really talk about this frequently, but I will answer the question now. Someone asked if I missed Call for Help, and my answer is no, because in many ways, this is it. So how could I miss something that I'm already doing? And in many more ways, I would say this is fantastically better than what I did on Tech TV. And some believe, they're wrong to believe this, but some believe that I had started my career at Tech TV. That's not true. I was broadcasting my thoughts to hundreds of thousands of people long before Tech TV was around. And, well, let's fast forward to today, and I'm still around. Tech TV isn't. So if you ask me if I miss Call for Help, I do and I don't, but I would say I largely don't because now I can turn to the live comments on YouTube and read what people are saying and interact with them directly. And it's a different type of experience, but this in every way is exactly what Call for Help could have been. Maybe at some point in the future, a television network will figure it out and put something like it back on the air. But until then, I'd be pretty happy with what we have going on inside of our community today. And really, I'm very happy you could be a part of this, whatever you want to call it. I call it the Locker Gnome Daily Report. You can call it Call for Help. All I want to know is that you're tuning in. You can move the snowflakes? Really? Oh, that's cool. Chris, do you have a blog like video where you do more than just tech and you blog more about your life? Hang on. Wise catch. That's a good question. When I first started the Locker Gnome experience online back in 1996, I shared a lot about my personal life. And over the years, I started sharing less and less because I realized that I was sharing not just too much, but it was just a lot of my personal life was out there. And some people feel that they have the right to attack me for my personal decisions, and I don't respect that at all. These people, they're human being, I guess, physically, but they really don't have much of a soul if their mission in life is to tear other people down. So I started to keep more things for myself. And as a matter of fact, there was, I guess, a very popular pair of vloggers, a family vlogger pair out of Montana, the Schulman. I don't watch it. I didn't happen to watch it. The Schulmans, and then It's Judy's Life is a local Seattle area vlog where they share a lot of their personal experiences. And I've thought about doing vlogging again, and I will probably get into vlogging more of my personal life, but will keep that to just a certain part of the community. So we've been talking about developing an affinity program for Gnomies, and so stay tuned for that. I don't want to dive into too many details, but if I do any vlogging, it will be for that private, extremely private community. And so with that, I'll be able to talk more about my personal life for people who would care to subscribe to it. But me posting my personal life on YouTube, not really planning on doing that at any point in the future. Been there, done that, could have written a book. I find it much more enjoyable to do these types of videos. But stay tuned. If you do want to see more vlogging from me, you will have the opportunity with Gnomies. That's going to be the name we're going to go with, and we will hopefully have more information for you within the next few weeks. Snowflakes are fun. I agree. Yeah, YouTube, thanks for the snowflakes. You're making this so easy to stay on topic. I think everybody everybody play with the snowflakes. Get it out of your system. I'll give you a minute on my invisible watch. Play with the snowflakes. Come on, go. Having fun with the snowflakes? Of course, as I said, if the snowflakes don't exist, you're wondering, what's Chris talking about? I just showed you the feature a couple of minutes ago. So we're moving up in likes. Love it. Thank you. Let's see here. Can using coupons actually hurt your budget goals? I am a bargain shopper. I love a good discount. I've talked about apps that can help save you money on the go. I've talked about web services that can save you money anytime you're connected to the internet. There are a lot of ways to save money. But here's a story for you. I was reading a circular. I don't know if it was printed or if it was an online ad, but it said, hey, you can buy one Lego set, get a second one at half off. Now imagine this was anything. Maybe you're not into Lego. I am. I'm a geek. So I said, wow, we got to go and look. So we went to this store, and we went to the aisle, and they said you can only get these certain sets, buy one, get one half off. And so I took one of my scanning applications on the phone, And if you don't have one installed, you should by now. There are plenty of them for just about any smartphone platform. And I scanned the price. I'm like, whoa, the normal price was jacked up, like outrageously, so far beyond MSRP, the sticker value. You know, it was so not realistic. And so I added up 2 potential sets that I could purchase. And it's not that I wasn't just potentially saving 50%. I mean, yes, if I purchased it at that store, I would have saved 50% on the second item, but I actually would have paid more than if I purchased the same 2 items at 100% somewhere else. I wasn't saving any money. What? It was insane. And then in the same store, and this is, I don't know if it was a different date because I ended up getting a good deal through the store. And I'm going to, not tell you who this vendor is because it's not about the vendor. This could be from anybody. My mom had been looking for these like storybooks of sorts, and I found one, and it was priced at $20. It's like, okay, well, it says buy one, get one half off. So 1 is 20, and half off would be 10, so that's 30 total. Well, I did the same price check on it. I could get it anywhere else for $10. So I could buy 2 with 1 at 50% off for $30, or the same 2 for a total of 20. I would have spent more money to save 50%. Sometimes a bargain is not a bargain. Even all these group dealing websites, we had purchased one of these coupons that says spend $25, get $50, and then you go into this restaurant. And we did. We walked in, we sat down, we said, we have this coupon, and they said, well, you have to order just from this menu. So the prices that were quoted on that particular part of the menu were twice as much, in many cases, than the prices from the menu that we were going to order from. So we actually didn't save money. We spent potentially more money getting the same thing that we were going to get before. So be very careful. When you see a bargain, it may not be a bargain. Do your research. If there is one reason for you to get a smartphone, it is for a scanner. There are hundreds of different scanning applications that you could possibly use. Everybody has their favorites. I've done video reviews on them. We've got a few, I believe, linked on the article, the corresponding article for this video on lockergnome.com, linked in the description. Can using coupons actually hurt your budget goals? Yeah, they can. Because if you're spending more to get a discount, that's not smart shopping. Just because it's half off doesn't mean that you're playing with the full deck. Or you should be. I mean, unless, of course, it's half off for a deck that has some of the cards missing. That wouldn't be a full deck, I guess. So, be forewarned. Make sure it's really a bargain. We've got some warning signs for you to pay attention to, even further warning signs, and ways you can protect yourself in the corresponding article on lockergnome.com. Jaden Moody TV says, enjoying the show, Chris. Keep it up. Thank you, I will. And we're on our way, well on our way, to 300 likes. Despite what one person wants, they're not going to, defeat our goals. I take more offense, honestly. You can troll me all you want. I don't care. You can tell me to suck it. I don't care. The one thing I take offense to is when you tell me you're bored. That's not my problem. It really isn't. Isn't that kind of funny? If you think about it, right? The people who don't realize they're offending me are offending me. Trolls don't offend me. Dislikes don't really offend me because I realize it's worth nothing, right? See, here's the thing. Right now, I'm, doing my job. Now, if one person's job is to dislike a video, that's a pretty good job to have, actually. I mean, if you're getting, if you're making a living from doing that, it's pretty cool. Actually, I don't know, maybe it's a good job to have, I guess, disliking videos. There's really not much value that it could hold. I mean, you can't really put that on a resume. I dislike videos on YouTube. Oh, really? So, what kind of what kind of training did you need to have to do that? Well, it took minutes of time away from my not very busy schedule to to dislike something. It was easier to make fun of something that somebody else was doing than it was to do something productive with my own life. And, it's probably why I don't have much of a life, really, because I dislike things. I write it down to penis envy. I don't have one, therefore, see, I'm pretending I'm a troll right now. I have one. Oh, trust me. There's nothing to, for me to envy at all. It's an old psychology. All right, moving along here. The next article that we have on lockergnome.com is nothing. Okay, we're done. But we do have a backlink of the day. As I said, with any one of these articles, okay, for all of you who've liked the video, I would appreciate if you looked at all the articles that we've done for you today and share one of them on Twitter and Facebook and Google+. If you could plus one it, share it, forward it to a friend. If you do one of those things with one of the articles, that's really a like. To me, that's an amazing like, because then I can see that gesture and I start seeing your username over and over again. I'm like, wow, they're a really nice person. They're very helpful. Let's see here. Did the doorbell guy from yesterday come yet? You would have heard it. If the doorbell rang, you'd be the first to know. Let's see here. Lol, Chris said penis. Yes. Males generally have, I almost said genitally have one, which I guess is pretty close to the truth. It's not a dirty word. It's a part of our body. If the divine creator did not intend for us to have something, he or she probably, or it probably wouldn't have given it to us. I'm not a Puritan. A good amount of store does price matching, which can mean no shipping costs and potentially saving money, says Kevo C 2008. That's true, although I ran into problems with Target the other day. It's crazy. QR code statistics. Let's see here. All right, let's see who's winning today. It looks like there are more Android users who have scanned the QR code today with their Android phone than iPhone users. But overall, there's still far more iPhone users in the crowd, in the community, from people that have tracked it. So let's see here. Good sites for cloud storage, Chris. I say anything that gives you cloud storage. Google Docs, Dropbox, SkyDrive, Box.net. The list kind of goes on and on, really. Take anything you can get for free, especially. MS Vizio's thoughts. Great back in the day, sadly outdated right now. Do you know anything about SOPA? Yes. I'm trying to keep my calm because I answer this question every day. And my answer is I've already answered that question in a video that I posted weeks ago. But thank you for asking the question. Really? I swear to God, one of these days, I'm just going to do a repeat of what I did the day before just to see if anybody notices. Let's see here. I'm not an Android user, just an Android, says CPLess07. Can you put a Twitter button on LockerGnome so that it's easy to tweet, asks Farsa Help. It should be up by now. Jake said he was going to do it. It's happening. I think he said he's going to do it today. I swear. He said he's going to do it. I'm not going to pressure him again. I'll ask him again tomorrow. If it's not done today, got to give him time. We're all busy. We all got a million things. But even if you don't see the tweet button on the website, it's easy to tweet a link too. Do you use an iPhone charging dock ever? Consider making a Lego one? Asked JM Clam. I don't really use a charging dock. No, I usually just connect it to the cable and I'm good to go. Stop asking same questions. Thanks. Have you used Box.net? Not often. Are you considering the Apple Cinema displays? Asked Paul Briggs 09. I actually have a couple that were sent to me by somebody. I have not done a video on them yet because I need to get the configuration perfect. There was an issue with shipping, and I'm still waiting for the solution. I was watching you from YouTube on Xbox before. It was pretty cool. That's wild, dude. That's awesome. Thank you. Apparently you can watch it. Can you watch me from the PS3? Can anybody find out? So you can watch me live on the Xbox. Can you watch me live on the PS3? If you were looking for, a way to trump, that's it. Because you can't watch me live on your gaming platform. Is it really a gaming platform? Yeah. The two are not related, trust me. Best way to tweet, copy and paste, says JKM Productions 1212. I say the exact same thing. All right, I've got a couple questions here from LockerGnome.net. I'm going to bang out two more. If you any other questions, feel free to throw them in here. Would an iMac run Skyrim 21-inch 2011 Intel i5? It did, and then it took an arrow in the knee. All right, we need an audio-only podcast, please. We already have one. I don't know what to tell you. It's in iTunes. And as well as video. We already have one. It's in iTunes. We can't really make it more than it already is, though. It's there. That's the good news. All right. Will there ever be a mobile app version of LockerGnome? Nah, but we got an RSS feed, so you can pull it into any RSS reader. I don't think anybody would download a mobile version of anything that I created, honestly. Think about it. Do you think everyone should be able to use YouTube Live? No, because most people suck at doing content. Not to say that I'm great, but at least I try. And we almost have 300 people that liked me streaming today. If you want to like the live video, someone was asking a couple of minutes ago, you have to go to the videos page. If you click the annotation from yesterday's live video, it should take you directly to the videos page. Now, you can't like the video on the YouTube channel page. You have to look at the individual video page. It's the only way to like the video. And it's still not easy to do after it's broadcast live unless you use the mobile device or a mobile device to like the video. Remember me from yesterday, Chris? Yes, I do. 10 News Rocks. Thank you. If you had a chance between a BlackBerry Bold 9900 and a Galaxy Nexus, what would you choose? Galaxy Nexus? BlackBerry? You know, I was waiting for a good joke today, but BlackBerry's about as funny as it gets. I don't know anybody who would admit to using a BlackBerry. That's too good. That's too good. Boy, you should be a comedian. That's pretty... Not just the Grape Juice Plus talking either. Chris, do you plan on being a father? Hey, what do you think? Yes. Let's pop over to LockerGnome.net, see if we have any questions we can turn into videos here. Let's see here. What do you use your tablet for? What's on your iDevice? In the future, do you think computer specs will matter? No, they don't matter today. My download speeds don't add up. That's a problem. Anyone know why 4chan and 9gag are fighting? Anybody's guess. Do you know any good brainstorming techniques? That's a pretty good question. I'd have to think about that, though. Of course, that would be ironic. Help regarding buying a graphics card. How do you connect 3 monitors to one computer? What music are you listening to when programming? Is there a need for screensavers? What gadgets do you use? Weird computer issue. What's your favorite sci-fi TV series? Do you pay for virtual machines? What do you think of the new Hobbit trailer? Oh, it's awesome. What's the geekiest thing you have on your computer? All right. Not a lot of interesting things on the front page. Okay. What Christmas music should I listen to this year? Looking for a WordPress plugin. Most embarrassing holiday photo. That's the contest we're running with Acer. You can get a computer with that one. Possibly. I don't know if you knew. You remember the computer giveaway we're doing with Acer? We're doing a computer giveaway with Sony, too. 2 computer giveaways, plus the Kindle Fire giveaways that we've been doing with the email newsletter. I don't know what you guys are waiting for. You should subscribe to the LockerGnome email newsletter already. Just do it. It's the cromulent thing to do. What are your thoughts on the death of Kim Jong-il? Well, if there is a hell, ... really not getting a lot of good questions even on LockerGnome.net, which is a bit disappointing. But there are a lot of questions, just not ones that I think would make decent videos. This is part of being a producer, kind of live, on the spot, trying to find, questions that, or even discussion points that would play well in a video. And I do my best to find things that I find interesting, that are worth talking about, that aren't overplayed. Electronic World. What's the name of the saxophone song in Boys in the Hood? Why does this repeat? Yeah, exactly. That's a good question. Who's playing Star Wars: The Old Republic? Not me, and I love Star Wars. Just not a fan of that genre. Yeah, well, I'm not finding anything there. Spam. I see some spam there. Ooh, some spam. Yay. How much money would it take to be Batman? Anybody's guess. How should a normal person use Twitter? Very carefully. What are you looking for in the iPad 3? I'm hoping for a screen, honestly. I mean, that's one thing. That's the one thing I'm looking for, is a screen. I wouldn't be listening for it. That wouldn't make any sense. What was the product you backed on Kickstarter that didn't work as expected? GoToPano was the product. Get tired of repeating questions? Mac Mini, worth it or not? In my estimation, it is. Do you play Skyrim? Asks Mr. Fallout Guy 2077. I did until I took an arrow in the knee. Have you used a projector for holiday decor? Or you have used a projector for holiday decor? Yes, I did. Did a video on that. Thank you for remembering. Any other geeky ways to decorate? We did an article on it. Remember the lockergnome.com article that we wrote on other geeky holiday things? You can search for it. Pretty easy. Sorry, I don't have the recommendations out of hand, like right now. Ask Siri, what are your thoughts on Android? Didn't we already say that? Can you not act like an ass? Oh, pure ghost, I'm doing my best. But the thing is, I can answer these questions yes or no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and that would be just as interesting. I think it's much more fun to be sarcastic sometimes, especially if I don't have an answer to the question. Will you be boycotting? Yada, yada, yada. Tired of arrow in the knee jokes. It'll get old sooner or later. Some people still haven't caught up. Do you think Empire Avenue has any future? It does, but they still need to make a few changes. Minecraft equals 21st century Lego. Agree or disagree? Both. I think it's definitely hitting the same part of our brain. I still like the physical nature of Lego. I don't really play Lego video games. Why is spam called spam? It's actually a reference to an old Monty Python sketch where the couple is in the restaurant and one of them says, I don't like spam, and then suddenly people start singing in a choir, spam, 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 and they start singing it louder and louder, and they drown out everybody else in the restaurant. And that's basically what spam does. It's there, it's unwanted, and it drowns everything else out. You didn't ask for it. That's the bottom line. Spam is not something you opted into. Spam is something you didn't ask for. Calling something you opted into spam is incorrect. Any thoughts on The Verge? I think it's one of the better technology websites that I've seen in the last 5 years, easily. What's the best form of Linux? I don't know if I have a full understanding of the question. Are you going to do a Christmas special? Asks the Hoey Show. Didn't plan on it. Is XP going to be killed? Who knows? We'll see. We shall see. Did you play Lego Universe? Oh, not do you, did you? Because they're no longer putting it out there. I guess they're going to be shuttering it or closing it down, whatever you want to say. Closing it down? Closing it? Shutting it down? I'm mixing metaphors left and right here. I think, though... Oh, someone said something about Jumper. Do you keep any of your instruction manuals? Noi. I like that. That's a good question, Noi. Thank you. Noi, by the way, I appreciate... Now I have a Chiari Mundi Lego minifig. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. I love it. It's the first one I have. Although, like I said, you got to talk to the seller on Amazon from my wish list because it didn't come with the base of the lightsaber. So I don't know if you can get your money back for it or not. I'm going to do this video here and maybe hold out for one more. I'm hoping that Ding Dong Ditcher will show up, so we'll do that video. It's getting darker, so there's a possibility. Although he sees the lights are on, he may see the camera in the window, and he may not come back. It may have just been a 2-day thing. I don't know. As I was asking for questions to answer in videos here in the YouTube channel as I was broadcasting live, the Locker Gnome Daily Report, there were a lot of questions out there, and some of them I did answer sarcastically. I I'm a sarcastic person sometimes. What can I say? But one question that came in was from, I would say, one of our long-standing community members. Certainly a handle or a name that I recognized. Noi Hillel asked the question: do you keep any of your instruction manuals? I keep most of them, but seldom do I refer to them. If I have a problem, I'm more inclined to go online and search for an answer. And then when I find an answer to a problem that other people are having, I may turn around and blog about it on lockergnome.com or share my solution to the problem that other people are likely searching for. I don't just find the problem and then keep it to myself. I share it so that other people can fix the issue if they happen to find the same question. So I do keep the instruction manuals. I just don't really ever refer to them. I will, if I don't look on Google, I'll or any particular website. There may be forums. We've got help.lockergnome.com as a repository for questions and answers. Lockergnome.net. I will frequently check the manufacturer's website to see if I can download a manual from there, or if there's a FAQ. Usually I can get a PDF from one place or another, and I would so much rather have an ebook version or a PDF version of a manual, because if I'm using a manual, it's to find a certain feature or a description for something, and it's impossible to do an inline find or a document find from a printed material. You have to be using an electronic document. So I would say I keep a lot of the electronic instruction manuals if I know I'm going to hold on to the product for a while, and if I get rid of the product and I come across the manual on my hard drive, or I guess SSD, I'll delete it. But those are the instruction manuals I tend to keep anymore, are the electronic ones. And then I'll keep if I want to keep the product in the box for the product, if I want to sell it, or if I think that there's some value in holding onto the box, I'll keep the instruction manuals. But by and large, I think the future of the instruction manual is, or at least should be, electronic. Good question, Noi. Do you like Windows 8? Young Geek, you may have missed the video I recorded on that. I have, and the easiest way to find the video I've recorded on Windows 8 is doing a search on YouTube or Google for Windows 8 LockerGnome. When are you having another Google Plus Hangout? I have no idea, really. It won't be today because I have a couple more things to do when I'm done with this. And by the way, I appreciate the comments that you guys are leaving, thank you. And the likes that you guys are leaving, thank you again. This is the thing. This is what the trolls don't seem to get. Every comment they leave is actually valuable. Like, the more comments I get in a video, the more likely that video is going to show up for other people. So thank you, trolls. Thank you for leaving comments. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. As long as you don't say you're bored. That will annoy me. Will Google ever set up their Android app purchase system so you can pay in your own money rather than the publisher's type, so you don't get charged by your bank for foreign currency transactions? That would be difficult to speculate on. I would not even know where to begin to ask that question, nor would I believe that anybody would have an answer to that question, nor would, even if Google had the answer to the question, would they answer that question. There's a lot of publishers, they need to make money. How can I donate to LockerGnome? VidUnit, are you serious? If you want to know, and some people do, believe it or not, I have an Amazon.com wish list. If you head over to go.tagjag.com/wish list, you can get me a Lego set that I have on there, and that's a way to say thank you. It's a donation. I also take iTunes gift card donations because I do download apps. I take Amazon gift card donations, PayPal donations. I think it's, don't quote me on this. I've got the email address for the PayPal donations rotating through the live video feed at live.perillo.com, but I can't remember what it is exactly. It may very well just be chris@lockergnome.com, and that may work. But I do take donations. It's kind of like a tip jar of sorts. I do a lot. I mean, I've spent the last hour and 20 minutes basically sharing what I believe is interesting to share. We spend a lot of time producing this content, and we don't ask at least for this content, we don't ask for money in return. So, it's kind of like a tip jar. You hear a musician playing, you appreciate what they do. I did, in fact, the other week, I was in a restaurant, and it was a jazz, it was a trio, and they were playing Christmas music, kind of a funky jazz, and I loved it. I was like, wow, are you available on iTunes? They said, no, but I sell my own CDs. I was like, okay, well, it's worth a shot. And so I listened to the entire set. I was like, okay, I have to get the CD. So he was selling it for $20, which I thought was a bit much. And he says, well, I have two. And I'm like, oh, but I don't know which songs I liked. And he said, I'll sell both of them to you for $30. And I did. I paid $30 to him because I really liked the music. And there's no way I was going to be able to find that music anywhere. It was a really good, I really loved it. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the band, but it was really, really nice. And I love Christmas music. And I love jazz. So what's up with Wirecast? I don't know. You tell me. Something up with it? I'm scouting right now, by the way. Hey, can we get to 300 likes, people? Can we get that far before I have to close out this video? Maybe we can. Where do we send the gifts? Chris@lockergnome.com or Chris@Pirillo.com. I get either one. We love to troll. Well, thank you. Thank you. You know what? If I didn't have a troll, I would be doing something wrong. We can only dream of having trolls because you ain't nobody unless you have a troll. So I'm very happy to welcome you into this community. Annoying Trolls Face 1. Maybe that's his real name. I don't know. It's a bad name, though. It's a really bad name. The last time I was on your stream, yeah, that was a different link for the donations. If you're asking for donations for me, if you want to send an electronic donation, Chris@Pirillo.com. I don't think that's a PayPal address, though. I think it's donation@lockergnome.com. Maybe it's donations. I'd have to check on that for you. But, look at the CD. I don't have the CD with me. It's downstairs. I store it in the CD shelf. 300 likes? Oh, you're asking for 300 likes. Thank you, Riley6. I wish it was that easy. If only. If only. Thank you, says Trollface is back 2. What happened to the first handle? You're welcome. I'm serious. The hallmark of knowing you've done something, if I get through a day without pissing one person off, I've done something wrong. I'm serious. I have trolls. Thank you. You made my day. You're welcome, Bug1969. How are you going to catch the Ding Dong Ditcher? Well, if he'd only do it, I'm holding on. I'm waiting for the past 2 days. With any luck, he'll ring the doorbell and run away. But I know he sees the camera in the window. I know he does. I so want to burn him. I so want to put his face all over YouTube. Oh, you have no idea. Oh, you want to talk about trolling. Ooh. An arrow in the knee? I think it's arrow in the knee, not arrow to the knee. I think that's the exact quote. I can't troll. I'm lazy. That being said, I enjoy the content. It's good quality stuff. Thank you, Killatony35. USPS tracking sucks. It does not work. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Hey, what's going on? I've got my audience of one here. My lovely and adorable girlfriend. This is Diana, and she still has her... Do you still have your sparkly fingers, or are they fallen? Oh, they fell off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I went with the different.
See, now look at this. My troll, I'm assuming it's just one guy, honestly. It could be more than one. We love Chris. I've decided, if you don't... And I knew this for years. If you don't have someone hating you, you're doing something wrong.
So now he loves you?
Why does this suddenly make me happy to know that... I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe Ding Dong Ditcher watches the show. It's a possibility. It is a distinct possibility. That's a good... You guys got to see this one. Hang on. Hopefully it'll... Oh, you have to see this one. This is a great quote. It's a visual quote. Hopefully it'll stick. Can you see that there? I used to use Linux. Then I took an arrow to the knee. And actually, I think it's arrow in the knee. But arrow being Microsoft's code word for the design of Windows 7 and Windows Vista. That is genius, dude. That's IsBM666. I think you get quote of the day for that one. That's funny. It genuinely is funny. That is. What gift are you getting her? I can't tell you. Actually, I recorded a video last week with some of the gifts that she's getting in her stocking. We're going to do a haul video, a Christmas haul. We'll have to do some SEO term searching and see what people are searching for. But you will find out what Diana will be getting. And by the way, it's Diana with one N. I've never seen, and neither has she seen Diana spelled with two N's. Little ditty about Chris and Diana. It's an old song. Sorry, that's about as much singing as you're going to get out of me. I just snorted.
And they'll see what you get.
And they'll see what I get, too. A lot of what I'm getting this year has come from the community, which is great. And Diana's kind of feeling, I think she's feeling a little left out. She's like, you're getting everything. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I love Lego. It's timeless, and they make great gifts. Actually, it is to the knee. Okay, thank you. Thank you, this damn Scotsman. I appreciate the correction. To the knee, arrow to the knee. I thought it was in the knee. Maybe. I don't know. I don't play Skyrim. There's the real irony. I only know enough about it to be dangerous. Okay, here's how we're gonna get to 300 likes. I'm stretching, hun. I'm waiting for the guy to troll us at the front door. If you like Diana, thumbs up. Diana. iOS is fine without widgets. Widgets are passe. Each app is a widget.
Tell them I say hi.
They can hear you, I think. Diana says hi. It's in the knee? It is in the knee, I was told. This damn Scotsman, if you got me wrong, this would be the second time. See, honestly, this is why I love when you stay tuned to the live broadcast, or even when you comment regularly. I get to know your username and potentially your real name. I mean, I'm a real person. You're a real person too. This isn't just, bleh. We can communicate. I can get to know you. And if that is the second time you screwed me up, this damn Scotsman, it's no wonder that's your handle. Does she have a wish list so we can donate her something? Asks the Ghostman8520. She does, but it's not really public.
And
Do you have a Lego wish list?
Chris already got me everything.
No, I didn't get you everything on it. There's some stuff on Diana's wish list that I wish I could put on my wish list. And he will share his gifts with the lovely Diana. Yes, she gets to play with all the Lego.
Jack and Diana.
And people ask why, the Lego. It's like, honestly, because I'm not going to put a digital camera on the list because I have a digital camera. I'm not going to put batteries on the list because who would get batteries for the list? Hey, thank you, Diana. You pushed us over 300 likes. I don't count the dislikes because really that's only one guy. I was going to ding dong ditch, but I saw your camera thing. Yeah, you already knew I had the camera thing set up because I said it. You may not have seen it.
Yeah. We're never going to catch him.
Well, anybody who knows me knows that I have cameras all over the place anyway. It's like, all right. So I want to see. I've got 9 videos right now. Can we round it out to 10? Hey, Chris, did you get my backlink? Yes, Josh, I did. It'll be an upcoming backlink. But Josh Bjorg, I never know how to pronounce your last name, Josh. He backlinked one of the LockerGnome.com articles. 300. This is Perillo. Just hear it for yourself. I used to like trolls, then I took a Chris Perillo in the knee. Okay, so do we have any other questions before I wrap this up? I don't think the Ding Dong Ditcher is coming back. What Linux needs to be better? Just more time. I'd say the same thing for any operating system, though. Because we're running up on to 90 minutes here, and I definitely have a couple errands to run before the end of the night. I really like these TLDR episodes. Wasn't a big fan of the older ones, but I'm all for change, says Sunny Sing TV. Thank you. Do you think Blu-ray is a big difference from normal DVD format? Me? No. Yes, there is a big difference. Do I see it? Maybe I need a better TV, I guess. The like-dislike ratio is harsh. I enjoyed your video, though. Ignore the dislikes. That's the thing. Ignore the dislikes. It's fun to play Pylon. And honestly, what they're disliking is the fact that they have to go and work at a fast food restaurant after they're done trolling me, and I don't. That's what they're disliking. They dislike their own life Or they may be jealous. That's what you have to chalk it up to. That's why dislikes really don't mean much to me. Did the FedEx guy get in trouble? I think he did. FedEx posted their own YouTube video about that. Talk about Star Wars. What about it? See, now the trolls are... Damn it. Now the trolls are saying they love me and that I rule. You're doing it wrong. You're trolling the wrong way. If you catch the person, are you planning to bring the person on the show? We'll probably have to ask their parents. It's an arrow to the elbow. Don't know what that means. Chris, it's no wonder that freezes stream. Don't know what that means. I think what it is this is the wine is finally loosening me up. I was a bit tense at the beginning. You probably watched the beginning of the video. And then now at the end, I'm like having fun. I don't know. It just feels like most of the work is done. I'm like, stress free. Of course, Chris on the other end, he's probably freaking out right now. It's like, dude, I have to sleep. Hey, Chris, what are the lights behind your back? The lights with the dots. Those are Tix clocks. Go.tagjag.com/TIX. And the person who invented these Tix clocks was murdered. It's not a joke. It was a random murder in the Bay Area a few years ago. How do we apply for a TLDR backlink? Just link back to a lockergnome.com article and then email me, chris@perillo.com, with the link that you link where you link to from your blog. That's a backlink. Have you installed the 12 Days of Christmas app? Apparently not. But, the Charlie Brown Christmas app is 99 cents right now, down from like $3. So you can that's a universal app for iOS. So it's iPad native and iPhone or iPod Touch native. According to Know Your Meme, it's both, so he hasn't screwed me over, says this damn Scotsman. That's funny. It is grape juice, plus.
Oh, you're going to tell David DeFranco happy birthday.
It's against the law to video. David DeFranco, happy birthday, even though you're a jerk for always talking about me in videos and telling Diana to wake me up. Not cool. Well, actually, you didn't say that the first time. Second time you did. Not cool. You know what's more not cool? Walking past a Lego store, mentioning my name, and then not even having the common decency to get anything for me. Or even asking me if I want anything. You know, for being the creative one, not very creative if you ask me. Stand to be a little more creative, I think. Which Android device do you have, Chris? I have the Amazon Kindle Fire. Which, by the way, the new update that came out makes it work better, but it's still a crappy experience, generally speaking. There's a lot of jerky motions and animations. They need to work on it, and they will. Hopefully, they'll integrate ice cream sandwich well within a year. 814 Hamster Man asks for the word of the day. You know, I'd be shocked if people made it an hour and a half into this live broadcast. Word of the day? Beard.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Beard. Give me a shout out, please, 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 please. The way I give shout out, when you send me Lego for my wish list, that's a great way to get a shout out. It really is. But since I'm feeling kind today and every day, really, TechX Software, there's your shout out. There's a Lego store in Rockefeller Center near the tree, says Airwolf28. That's the one that David walks by. Where do you get the inspiration for your video topics? Says George. There we go. I think I'm going to do that as a video. Thank you, George. As we were finishing up this live TLDR, the Locker Gnome Daily Report, which we broadcast live on YouTube every weekday right around the 3 o'clock mark, at least Pacific time, George, and I think that's how you say his handle on YouTube, asked the question, where do you get the inspiration for your videos? Well, if I think it's interesting to share, that's where inspiration strikes, I guess. I mean, if I'm doing something and I think, I need to tell something about it, I'm like, maybe that'll make a good video. Or if it's something that I think is interesting to talk about, that'll make a good video. It's really funny, though, to see some people commenting saying, you just don't make videos like you used to. That's because I can't do the same videos every single day. I know many of you would like me to, but I'm just not going to do it. Or some people say, gosh, you must be running out of topics. That's not true. We cover plenty of new topics every single day on lockergnome.com. And that's one of the reasons why we started to really make everything go full circle. We write an article on lockergnome.com, do a video about it, and it's this nice big perfect ecosystem we've built around us. So I get inspiration from things that I see around me, fun things, interesting things, geeky things, and you know, I could talk about what everybody else is talking about, but then what's the point? If everybody else is talking about it, why would I talk about it? There is no reason you would do that. I've never run out of topics, despite what some YouTube commenters have said. It hasn't happened. I'm not reaching for new topics. They constantly come at me in a flood, and I do my best to really whittle it down to videos that I can record that I think are going to be interesting to everybody. This is how I create content in general. If I find it fun, funny, interesting, geeky, worth sharing, I can promise you this. With the 4,000 videos that I've recorded, not one of them have I done that I was not interested in sharing with other people. I don't do a video just to do a video. And I certainly have not run out of topics. There's always something to talk about, always something interesting. And you don't have to look very far to get that inspiration. My life, it provides enough inspiration. The experiences that I have beyond the camera, I bring potentially into a blog post or into a video that, could stem from a blog post, or the video, goes back, or the blog post becomes the video. It's just this universe of creating around the experiences that we have. And I find that sharing my perspectives, ultimately, that is the core of the video content that I provide. And if I did not have inspiration or an idea to share, I wouldn't bother doing it. I've been accused of, being a fanboy, or on the other side of the spectrum, at the same time, being accused of not taking a side with the same piece of content. I don't know how that could be, other than knowing that it's less about what I'm doing and more about how people project themselves onto what I'm doing. So at its core, my inspiration for doing videos and creating content and sharing content stems from the experiences that I have, or the reactions that I have to something. And if they're not very strong reactions, one way or another, I'm probably not going to share it. I'm probably not going to talk about it, because if it's not interesting to me, in conveying it, it may not very well be interesting to you. So inspiration comes from all around, from life in general. And honestly, this question, this video itself, was inspired by George. I wouldn't have answered the question if you wouldn't have asked it. And I appreciate the questions that allow me to talk a bit more broad, about a particular topic, rather than the latest gadget, which, you could watch a year from now and it would be irrelevant. I like creating content that is just as useful a year from the time it's recorded. That's just me. Or even 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. Evergreen is the term that's used. But inspiration is in real life. And if you're looking for inspiration, man, you don't have to look very far than your own life. What's interesting to you is probably going to be interesting to everybody else. And as we're broadcasting this and recording it in the live video feed on YouTube, 310 people liked this broadcast today. And that, to me, says that my inspiration was interesting enough for at least those people. And if you like the things that we do, please feel free to share with other people. I think we're rounding out. I think, thank you, by the way. Hopefully that was a good video. Was that a good video? Was that a good one? I have no idea. Maybe. New record? Slightly. Please do a hangout. Can't. I got a couple errands to run. Sorry. Maybe later. Stay tuned. Watch my Google Plus profile. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start winding down. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. If you did not share this video link on your Facebook page, you can do it now. If you did not share this video link on your Google Plus page, you can do it now. If you did not embed this video on your blog, you can do it now. You can link to any Locker Room article. I'm giving you full permission to link away. We love backlinks. We do. That's the record I want to set. I want to have 100 backlinks in a day. That would be amazing. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there, but we can do that. But I need your help. Can't do this alone. This is just part of the equation. I'm only 50%. You are the other 50%. If it was just me talking to a camera, it'd be worthless. I need your help. Like, share, tweet, retweet, reshare. +1, +2. Actually, there is no +2. I made that part up. But please keep participating. I appreciate it. And yes, believe it or not, I appreciate the trolls because that's telling me that we're doing something right. If you can, tune in to the next live video feed. Sorry if it unfortunately is not time zone compatible for you. You may be asleep right now, at least at the time that I'm broadcasting this live on YouTube. We're doing our best to accommodate everybody. Not really stretching for more time because I don't think our ding-dong ditcher is coming back. Maybe he will tomorrow. Who knows? There's something to stay tuned for. You may have to remind me to set up the webcam again to see if he's actually done anything. And of course, you are welcome to join us in the chat room that's a part of the live video feed. I'm not in there a lot because I'm doing a lot of things, but the rest of the community is. If you want to engage them directly, you can. It's IRC, thanks to geekshed.net and the amazing set of admins and moderators in the chat room. That's the Chris chat room in Geekshed. The live video feed sometimes has audio up, sometimes not, because I have music that I'm playing in the background that I'm not licensed to replay. Maybe at some point we can figure out how to do a Geeks radio type of thing. We tried it at one point, but I wasn't a part of it. We might be able to do it again if we get enough content producers. Maybe we could set something up where over the live video feed we had other people from everywhere else answering questions as they were coming in, either to chat or some other kind of video feed. That'd be kind of neat to have a live radio feed that I wouldn't be a part of. It would be just the community that would be interacting. But anyway, we've got the resource available for you. Subscribe to the email newsletter if you haven't already. I tease this at the end of pretty much every video, as well as I guess throughout every TLDR. LockerGnome.com. Good information, and we really appreciate your support. I cannot emphasize that enough. We appreciate your support. There, I said it more emphatically there. Kind of slurred my words there. It has nothing to do with the Grape Juice Plus. It's just that I've been talking for the past hour and a half. No, hour and 40, almost 2 hours. Kind of foaming at the mouth here. Is that coming through on the mic? Does that sound disgusting? Aren't you glad you stayed tuned for the whole video now? Sorry. So we will catch you tomorrow. And if we don't see you tomorrow, we'll possibly see you for another live broadcast. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. It's easy to do. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Subscribe. I've said it over and over again, so I'm just going to end it with a traditional, we'll see you later.